Hare Krishna. I was told that you are not allowed your tea breaks because of me. I thought I am such a villain, my God. So in case somebody has not taken their break, they want to have some snacks, they want to take tea for as a refreshment, so please feel free. In case you doze off in between, you can still stand up, go out, stretch, take something, come back, or you can even have a walk here. But thank you very much for inviting me. I am really honored to be amongst all of you. And I could see the entire itinerary. There is also a spiritual session. Wow. And that's so much required. So I had various proposals, and the topic which was given to me was the need of spirituality. Do we actually need to be spiritual? Yes, no, no, yes? Okay. Who says yes? Okay, who says, oh, come on, please, give us a break. Okay, who's confused? Okay, who's confused, whether you are confused or not? Okay, great. So do we need spirituality? Yes, we actually need spirituality. And in fact, there are various levels of needs, as we have heard in Maslow's need hierarchy. There are various needs we have. We have got physical needs, we have got mental needs, intellectual needs, social needs, emotional needs, egoistic needs. But there is one need which always is starving, and that need is the need of self-actualization, which is a spiritual need. So usually we see that we fulfill all of the needs. We take care of our physical needs, we have good food, we go for exercise, we take nutritious diet, and we do so many activities just to keep our body healthy. So physical needs done, emotional needs, yeah, that's also done. Social needs, yeah, we socialize, hi, hello, how are you doing? Social needs done. And then egoistic needs, yeah, that's also done. When we have R&R in an organization, so the best performer of the month, the star performer of the quarter, and then we come to the stage and then trophies are given. Basically, psychologically speaking, we are fulfilling the egoistic need, the need of recognition. So that's also a need as per Maslow's need hierarchy. So we are fulfilling all the needs, but only one need often remains unfulfilled, and that is spiritual need. And spiritual need has to wait for retirement. Often people wait for retirement. बस एक बार रिटायर हो जाए जी, जिम्मेदारियां हैं, बच्चों को भी तो ब्याहना है, किश्तें भी तो चुकानी हैं, we have got home loan, car loan, so many loans. बस एक बार रिटायर हो जाए, फिर यही है घंटा घंटा पीटेंगे हम भी मंदिर में जाकर के, और क्या तब तक chill out यार. Till that time we are so busy, very very busy. So often this need remains unattended, and that's why we starve this need. And the result is that even though people become so successful in their lives, still there is something missing. This you see, this is a very common phrase. Yeah, sab theek to hai, but something is missing. Something is missing. And often when people try to fulfill this, something is missing with smoking. And that's why we see in corporates there are smoking zones. People go and smoke. They do that. Why? And there are some great deals happen. Some great exchanges happen. Why? Because that's the time of our fulfilling that need. But neither by wine, nor by smoking, or by world tours, nothing can fulfill this particular need, because this need is the need for spirituality. So only spiritual activity can fulfill it. So we have seen people who have got power, post, position, comforts, aristocracy, beauty, fame, everything, yet they remain dissatisfied. They have fun, they have thrill, yet they are not satisfied, because this is a need. And you will see those who are genuinely spiritual, they are very satisfied. They are very satisfied. Why? Because this need is also being taken care of. And one of the corollary of this Maslow's need hierarchy is that this particular need is the core need. Just like in an atom there is nucleus, which is a core. and entire weight is that of the core, the nucleus, where there is protons and neutrons. So I'm sorry for giving such a physics-wala example, but that's the nucleus. So that's why similarly the nucleus of all the needs is spiritual need. In case this need is getting fulfilled, even if somebody's physical need or emotional needs are not getting fulfilled, yet the person is absolutely bindas. He's cool. So this is our need at every stage of our life. Right from very childhood, we should fulfill this particular need. Second benefit of spirituality is that our relationships become better. How come relationships become better? Because we become emotionally more balanced by being spiritual. Those who are genuinely spiritual, I'll use this term genuinely as an adjective to spiritual, because there are people who are not so spiritual, but only their spirituality is only cloth deep or attire deep or appearance deep. But here I am saying genuinely spiritual, such people have great relationships. And why such people have great relationships? Why? Because spirituality gives us the quality of empathy. What is empathy? Anybody would like to define what is empathy? Anyone? Raise your hand. What is empathy? We have homeopathy, we have sympathy, and there is something known as empathy. Yes, we are able to connect to the emotions of others. So we are able to, when we are able to connect to the emotions of others, our connection is better. And as it is said that there are 3 C's to communication: connect, convey, convince. Connect, convey, convince. Once there is no connect, then in convey there is so much of struggle. My God, in conveying, and then convincing becomes so much difficult. Especially we see in corporates, because there is lack of connect, because the person is way too bossy. He's not a leader. He's way too bossy. When I say boss means so basa ho gaya. That's boss. He's not a leader, but he's just bossy. So there's lack of connect, and because there's lack of connect, and that's why conveying any message becomes so difficult, and then convincing somebody, again, it's a challenge. So there is more connect when there is empathy, and empathy is a natural byproduct of spirituality. They naturally connect. That is what spirituality does to us. So relationships become better because of empathy. I remember my mother, she was a chess champion, and she taught me chess. So one time as I was playing chess, so my mother asked me, so my dear son, what do you think you are playing today? How are you playing today? How do you rate yourself? I said, well, mom, today I think I'll defeat you. I'm playing so good. My mom said, really? I said, yes, actually today I'll defeat you. Today I'm playing so good. So then my mother asked me to come to her side and see the chessboard from her side. And as I looked at the chessboard from her side, oh God, I was playing disastrously. My mother said, I can kill you this way also, I can finish you this way also. So, तू कौन सी मौत मरना चाहेगा? तू हाथी की मौत मरेगा, घोड़े की मौत मरेगा, वजीर की मौत मरेगा? बता, अकड़ बकड़ करके बता जरा. अरे, but from my side, I thought I'm such a champion. Today I'm going to defeat my mom. But empathy gives us this quality that we are able to see lives from other person's perspective, and that's why we are more human. We are more human when we are spiritual. Like in married life, usually we see that nowadays youngsters are more inclined with having physical intimacy as the foundation of their relationship. But we see that those who base their relationships founded on only physical intimacy, after some time it finishes. Love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Common phenomena. But yes, there are some other ingredients also required in the marriage. Like for example, there's one more intimacy which is known as emotional intimacy. When there is emotional intimacy, the percentage is greater than the physical intimacy. Such marriages, they sustain. Why? Because they are emotionally mature. And there is one more intimacy, and that's known as spiritual intimacy. And as there is more spiritual intimacy, emotional intimacy also gets nourished, and then physical intimacy is part of it but not heart of it. And such marriages are far more mature. So spiritual intimacy should also be part of married life. And we see such marriages flourish so nicely because there is more connect, there is more forgiving, there is more forgiveness. People are more accommodating. This happens why? Because people are spiritual. Genuine spirituality leads to better relationships. That's another benefit. Third benefit which we get by practicing spirituality is that our karmas get burnt. We all accumulate karma in our day-to-day life, in our professional life, everyday life, career life, professional life, personal life. We accumulate karma. And our sukh dukh, our happiness and our sorrows, they depend on karma. So karmas are to be cut. More we become free from karma, more we feel liberated. More we feel empowered. More we are free from karma. But what is that which cuts down the karma? It is spirituality. Okay, is there any proof? Oh yes, absolutely. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami. Mashacha, daro mat, do not fear. I will free you from all the karmic reactions. You just take exclusive shelter of mine. So by the power of devotion, by the power of bhakti, by the power of spirituality, genuine spirituality, our karmas get cut. Often we go to astrologers कि थोड़ा हाथ देखिए हमारे बच्चे का, देखिए ना ये कुछ चल नहीं रहा है आजकल, हमारा कुछ बताइए ना, बड़ा बुरा हाल चल रहा है हमारा, कुछ बताइए क्या पहने, कुछ कोई रिंग पहन ले, कोई मंत्र फूक ले, किसी का चक्कर लगा रहे, परिक्रमा कर ले, कहीं सरसों का तेल डाल दे, कुछ तो कर दे, कुछ तो बताइए. But astrologers can also read our karma, but they cannot change karma. They cannot change karma. Only by spirituality we can cut down karma. Like if somebody looks at my chart, they say, Prabhuji, do you have stomach disorders? I said, yes, I used to have stomach disorders. I used to have acidity, that's my karma. That I will have stomach disorder, that is my karma. But since the day I am taking prasadam, that means food which is offered to God, there is no acidity. Now it's been 22 years, no acidity at all. But if somebody looks into my chart, there are stomach disorders. But there is no stomach disorder. So that karma got cut by spirituality. So all the miseries, moroseness, sadness, they all come because of karma. So by the strength of spirituality, we can cut down karma. Karma granthi chinjanti. Karma granthi means the knot of karma gets chinjanti, destroyed by spirituality. So that's another benefit which we get. Now fourth benefit which we get is that we are able to conquer our bad habits. Often people struggle with bad habits because the bad habits have got the element of pleasure. And that element of pleasure keeps coming again and again and again, even though there is repentance. Even though the person says, no, going forward I'm not going to do it again. No! But next time again the mind says, but that titillation, that pleasure, come on, experience it again, go for it. And then again the person gets victim of the bad habit. And this way, in a due course of time, the habit becomes even deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And as we reach old age, then this habit has become so deeply rooted. Oh my God. Once I returned from my office when I was working as software professional, I returned from office and one of the person, he was smoking. He said, "Beta, जवान आदमी हो तुम, क्या किया तुमने जवानी में, तुमने माला पकड़ ली, हरे कृष्णा कर रहे तुम, ये इस्कॉन वाले क्या जवान लड़कों का ब्रेन वॉश कर देते हैं, तुम्हारे हाथ में माला नहीं होनी चाहिए, तुम्हारे हाथ में माला नाम की लड़की का हाथ होना चाहिए था." मैंने कहा, हाँ अंकल बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने, बिल्कुल सही बोला, ये इस्कॉन वाले जो है ये ब्रेन वॉश करते हैं, दे ब्रेन वॉश पीपल. बट टुडे यू हैव ओपन्ड माय आईज, थैंक यू सो मच. अंकल बट व्हाट्स योर एज? ऐसे ही 55-56 हम के हो गए बेटा अब. मैं अंकल यानी आप जवान तो अब नहीं रहे, राइट? तो आज से ये सिगरेट मेरी और आज से मेरी माला आपकी. आज से आप करेंगे भगवान का नाम नहीं. अरे भाई इन चक्करों से हमको दूर रखो. अंकल जी थैंक यू वेरी मच. So as we grow into old age, then habits become really deeply rooted. Now to shake them it becomes very difficult. In our young age they are like budding, so we can uproot it. As we go further, then it becomes like a plant, and then by the time we reach old age, these habits have become so deeply rooted. They are like a full-blown tree, full-fledged tree. How to uproot a tree? So then habits are so deeply rooted. So what are habits basically? Habits are nothing but they are the grooves on the mind. Just like there is a duff, and when we prepare the duff, and when in case if I mark a line with the knife on the duff, so what happens? There is a groove, and if I mark the line again on the same groove, the groove becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. Similarly, on the surface of the mind, the grooves become deeper and deeper for a particular activity which you are doing it with absorption again and again and yet again. So the groove becomes deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's what habit is. But by the power of spirituality, we can change our habits, especially bad habits, which are cobwebs in the beginning, but they are like steel wires in the end. Whoa, who can escape the bad habits? Like about the bad habit, it is mentioned, it is something like entering a very cozy, comfortable bed. Easy to get in, difficult to come out. And that's the nature of habits. But yes, with the power of spirituality, we are able to take a back step. We can eradicate these bad habits because now we are cultivating good habits. So we should not fight with bad habits. We should cultivate good habits, and these good habits fight with the bad habits. And that's the way to conquer it. And especially when these habits are spiritual habits, that can really conquer it. So another benefit which we get by practicing spirituality is that we can conquer bad habits. Early we do, best it is, better it is, certainly. Another benefit which we get by practicing spirituality is that we prepare for the old age. Often we see that people are so active during their corporate years. They were presidents and vice presidents, and they were part of board of directors and CEOs and CFOs. On the day of retirement, people say, okay sir, thank you sir, we will miss you sir, okay sir, bye bye sir. Next day, there is no work to do. There comes an immediate vacuum. And then they can't handle this vacuum. And that leads to depression. Because they were so active earlier, professionally they were so active, people were meeting them, respecting them, they were socializing, they were getting up in the morning, they have to go, they have something to think about. Now all of a sudden, it's not there. And there is no spiritual activity as such done prior to this. And the result is that this vacuum leads to depression. And no psychologist can treat this depression. Reason being, it is so deeply rooted and it is so devastating that the person has to fight with it. But now the person doesn't have taste for spirituality. In the old days, there is also a struggle. Immediately now to get that taste also is not there. So what to do? So then they are to go gradually. But before we become old, we should actually get into some genuine practice of spirituality. We should, just like in a system, we make a transition. So in case we make a transition, and then we settle down in our old age, and then we are happy. And that's why you will see that those who do not take to spirituality in their young age, as they move towards their old age, immediately they are not able to adopt it because they don't have taste for it. Ideally, somebody has practiced spirituality in young age, so in old age, we have full-blown taste for it. Now you can do it for hours and hours and hours. You feel liberated. You actually feel free. So that's why by practicing spirituality, we prepare for the old age. That's also very important. Another benefit which we get by practicing spirituality is that we get purpose of life. What's the purpose of my existence? Just like, for example, if somebody boards a train and somebody asks the person, sir, you boarded the train. Why did you board the train? Well, everyone boarded, so I also boarded. So where would you get down? So where everyone would get down, I will also get down. What will you call such a person? Intelligent or fool? Fool, right? In case somebody asks us, sir, why are you living? And we ask, well, everybody is living, so I am also living. I said, so what will you do in your life? What everyone will do, I will also do. So this person is intelligent or fool? My God, very difficult question here. He's fool, right? And alas, in this world, 99.99% people choose this format of life. Why are you living? everyone is living. So I am also living. Wow. There were two guys. One was digging the soil, and the other was now filling the part which was taken off. And this way, one was digging, and the other was filling it. And one was digging, and the other was filling it. So one guy came. He said, "Hey, you both of you, isn't there any more innovative way to do time pass? एक गड्ढा खोद रहे हैं, भर रहे हैं, one is digging and another is filling." They said, "Actually, we are a team of 3 people. The job of first person is to dig. The job of second person is to put the seed, and job of third person is to fill in the soil. So second person has not come today. So we thought we should do at least our job." Meaningful? Same is what we do. We do not put the seed of spirituality. So otherwise it becomes a useless hard work. So entire life is spent like that. So we get the purpose of life. Why do we exist? Why? Because eating, sleeping, mating and struggle for existence is done by even animals. We are doing these 4 activities in a more sophisticated way. That's it. We have sophisticated eating. We have pizza, pasta, idli, dosa, vada, sambar, South Indian, North Indian. Sophisticated eating. We have sophisticated sleeping. Animals, they sleep on the roadside. We sleep on sleep well, sleep well. On 20th floor, skyscraper building. Very good. So sophisticated sleeping. Sophisticated mating. For mating purpose, people go to Mauritius and where not for mating purpose. Sophisticated mating. And a sophisticated struggle for existence. We do MBA. Why? Struggle for existence. सर पापी पेट का सवाल है साहब. है कोई व्यक्ति जो ज्ञान के लिए MBA करे? अरे ज्ञान क्या तेल लेने साहब, पैकेज अच्छा लग जाता है MBA करने के बाद. So struggle for existence in a more sophisticated way, right? So sophisticated eating, sophisticated sleeping, sophisticated mating, sophisticated struggle for existence. So we are doing all the activities which animals do, but in a more sophisticated way. So at the max, human beings are just so sophisticated. Animals, no. ये आपने क्या बता दिया आज हमको? Are we just sophisticated animals? No, of course not. There is something which we can do in this human form of life. So there comes a very beautiful verse in the Shastra. It is mentioned, Ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. Easy Sanskrit. Ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. धर्मो हि तेषाम अधिको विशेषो. अधिक विशेष बात क्या है? धर्मो हि तेषाम अधिको विशेषो धर्मे न हीना पशु भी समाना. सिंपल संस्कृत. धर्मे न हीना पशु भी samana. So we actually define the purpose of this existence by being spiritual, because spirituality can be practiced by the human beings.